what are the changes that Mumbai Indians will be looking for in the next year? Do you see any changes? Do you see anybody that could be just pushed away and then they could free up their purse? Because there are a lot of names that are big value. Maybe the performance is not up to the mark. So do you see any of those Nikhil?
I think this finish will not probably allow that reset. I don't know if it's fair. I don't know if it's unfair. So you saw them use green better as the season progressed. I definitely see Jordan released. So whatever saves them money there. There were a few injury updates with Joffre as well, but I don't think he's going to go anywhere. So that will be very interesting to see how it pans out. I feel with Mumbai and with their Indian contingent, they have once again showed the value of good scouting. They have a good core to back in Nehal, in Tilak, and I think Ritik Shokin, Kumar Kartike, again, I don't think they've shown enough confidence in them at times with the bat or their usage at times with the ball. So maybe that's where something that they can look at, but I don't expect them to release anybody as such. For what it's worth, I just hope Rohit sheds the idea of wanting to attack too much. There are some people to whom it comes very naturally. He's tried this role, and I don't think it's coming off as well. Because if it comes out 3 out of 10 games, you are happy with it. But in the 3 out of 10 games, also you need that fluency. And see, I agree to their point that there is no need of an anchor. But who scored a century today? Who is he? He's an accelerating anchor. So an accelerating anchor is still there in the game for you for a reason. So if you have so many hitters around you in Kishan, in Tilak, in Nehal, in Sky, in Green, in Tim David, that's a lot of hitters to have. I don't think you can mind a guy who can give you a 40 ball 60 batting at one end. So maybe that's something to think for Rohit. Because I feel if it's not, we have seen it not work for enough times for him to make that change. So very keen to see how he goes personally. Give yourself some time, and maybe it could work out. So I think the form of Akash Madhwal is the greatest positive for them to come out of this in terms of how he went about it. Of course, he's inexperienced enough, so it showed in how he went about. And it happens, right? He went for the Yorkers. It's high variancy. When they land, it looks great. When they don't, so he'll also learn. So there is a good core for them to bank on. But yeah, questions from the top order in Kishan and Rohit. Their consistency, Kishan showed good return to form as well in some of the games. So they are in a better shape, and they have a formula. Now it's about fine tuning those skills and getting them out, because remember they are just 2 wins away from the final from a trophy. So it just tells you how much you can get away with and how much you can still do. So in a fair way, good reflection because of their domestic players who stepped up, I feel.
I mean, talking about the formula, I mean, I don't know, what do you feel that what could be the possible additions that they would be looking for in the future, and what could actually make them into a title winning side?
I mean, I would actually ask this question to Gurkirat. Probably he's just joined us, so he could probably answer this. So the way I see it is, again, once a lot rests on the fitness of both Bumrah and Archer, I guess. If Bumrah and Archer are both available, and if Madhwal continues his progress, then I see that they could go after a really good spinner in the market, like an overseas spinner whoever is available, and then they can use that there, because I think spin is one area where they're really lagging behind other sides. I know Piyush did well in the first half of the season, but even his performances have tailed off, as the season has progressed. Again, the another area I would be looking at really is only if when Rohit calls it quits, how long he'll be there, but I'm sure that he'll be there for another 2-3 years as well. So their core is again building itself naturally, organically at the batting order, and batting order seems set. But yeah, personally, I would only look at a very good leg spinner, probably, or any excellent spinner if both Bumrah and Archer are fit. So, Gurkirat, what do you think? What does this Mumbai side need going forward to kind of make itself formidable, or at least again prone to, or maybe less errors, and just turn itself into a winning machine once again, as we can put it?
Definitely, without a doubt, need to work on their bowling. I see one thing that will not happen. What happened in this season is that they may not win as many tosses as they did to bat second. That's been a huge factor for them in this season. So there's that. And these bowling numbers are there: average of 8, economy of 10. So they need definitely better bowlers. I think that they need to figure out who's going to be their second overseas bowler, because Berendorf seems to be that one. Uh, don't think Jordan can work, and I'm not sure what happened to Meredith either, because Meredith was doing decently at the death. Uh, Definitely not as bad as what Jordan's been doing. So there's that, and I don't think that they can rely on Bumrah or Archer, and feel that if they come back things will work out, because it's been what it's been 6 months now that Bumrah's been out of action. Yeah, it's been 6 months. So, and he's still, I feel, a few more months away from coming back and playing professional cricket. So they'll have to wait and see how much can they rely on these two bowlers. But clearly they've done it before. They could scout for better bowlers. They've definitely had one of the best scouting teams. Madhwal is one product, and again, should not get carried away with the kind of season that Madhwal has had, because like Anirudh keeps mentioning, there's always that second season syndrome, right? How he does in that second season will really define how their bowling goes. So they need to look at that, and they need to answer the Rohit Sharma question, because it's been 7 seasons now since he's averaged 30 in a season. This season also he's ended with an average of 20, and in the last 7 seasons there's only been 2 seasons where he's had a strike rate of more than 130. So yeah, you can talk about intent and everything, but the hard numbers, the performances are not showing that, right? So yeah, and yeah, I don't know till how long can they stick with Rohit in the name of, oh, he's been our successful captain, he's been an icon player. I understand everything, all of that, but yeah, maybe this question, maybe if MI had not qualified this season, it would have been the first time in their history that they would have missed the playoffs for 3 seasons in a row. Then that question of Rohit being in the team would have really been in front of their faces, and would have been really difficult for them to answer that. The fact that they've reached the playoffs, it may not be as hard hitting as what it would have been otherwise, but it's you've got to address the elephant in that room, and that is Rohit Sharma's performance right now. You can't carry on with 7 seasons of consecutive performances as an opener with an average of less than 30. It's very difficult, because yeah, I mean, I can't stress this enough.
So, yeah, he's. I mean, we spoke about Rohit Sharma as well. How he had to take responsibility today after the injury to Kishan, and again
And
the batting
Green,
order got kind of messed up, but he couldn't do it, and probably one of the culprits, if you can say that, because the others have performed all through the season. I wanted to ask Nikhil, even though they've like missed out on making the final again, which would have brought about the CSK MI final again, all that. But all things considered, you would say this is an above average season for Mumbai. Definitely, I mean, at least a 7.5 out of 10. What do you think? If you had to give them a mark out of 10.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely give them more from the performance that they gave from the Indian contingent, because if you think of it, it was the only the two, it was only three individuals who didn't quite have the best of their times. Even they comparatively had occasions where they won you a game. So Rohit had a couple of 50s, Kishan had a couple of 50s. Jordan did not have much to do, and it's okay, it can happen with people. But in terms of the performance that they got from Tilak, from again, Tilak backed his season last year. Nehal
Mhm.
came good for them. Akash Madhwal, I think, I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but I feel finding good bowlers was MI's problem. And Akash is going to solve a big hole. And especially when Bumrah comes back, whenever he does, it'll just add a lot more teeth to their bowling attack. So I think they have a lot more to look forward to as compared to, say, last year. So definitely an above average season. As we said, they have a good core. Green could be a proper legit opener up top for them, and then they can figure out what is the best roles for the other overseas players. So yeah, I'll definitely say it's an above average season, because we don't play the qualifier to without having above average season, to be very honest.
Yeah,
And
I mean, if Jai Richardson does make his return next year, do you think Gurpreet they'll then have a proper bowling unit that could have different faces of bowlers? Because Jai Richardson could bowl at the death and could swing with the new ball. So it could be interesting to see how MI perform then, right?
Yeah, but Jai Richardson really with his, I mean, they've in the last 2 seasons they've banged a lot on pacers who are injury prone, and they've been sort of hamstrung due to it. I'm not sure that relying again on a pacer who belongs to a similar category is something which they should do. I also think that they need to find a good off spinner. Ritik Shoki in this IPL hasn't really impressed me a lot, and I am also not sure if Piyush Chawla can replicate what he did this season. So probably they need to look at a backup for that. A good thing is they have Shams Mulani. He did not get a game, but in domestic cricket he's been doing decently for Mumbai across formats. So he's one player that I still feel they should retain and keep him around and see how he fares. But uh, all's not done. Yes, they have overperformed, but they need to be very clear in terms of expectations and understanding that a few of their players have overperformed. Because, like I said, Piyush Chawla was brilliant this season. He's outbowled India regulars, but can you expect him to do that for a season or two again? I'm not sure. So there's that, and yeah, minor tweaks. They really need to figure out who their bowlers are going to be, and yeah, Green's a huge positive, definitely. Tim David is being a positive. They need to figure out who that second pacer is going to be, and probably also keep seeing that when can they try and play the likes of Stubbs and Brevis, because those two are also fine talents. If they could actually improve on that Indian bowling front, maybe there are some few games or matches or pitches where they could bring in one of those players and then make that batting lineup even more stronger than what it is. And yeah, Tilak Verma's done well. Nehal Vadera's I think he'll grow, so he'll become better. So more or less, it's the bowling that needs to sort itself, and once that happens, they could really get back to the kind of run that they were having before, where they were winning the IPL every alternate year.
So
Just looking at the highlights, Chris Jordan very well could have dismissed Shuman Gill. So yeah, I think that sums up Mumbai's.
We'll just end it with if everyone could just name. There's a silver lining for Mumbai from this season. One silver lining for Mumbai from this season. If everyone could name that, I think we can start with Nikhil. Just no need to go too much into it. Just
I think he's going with Akash Madal. Of course, he's
made it very very evident.
Yeah,
Akash Madal. Gurkirat, who is your silver lining for Mumbai from this season?
Same answer, no difference. Because when I was doing my auction reviews, I had said that he could be a player to watch out for, because from what I had seen from in SMAT and his numbers, he was someone who was skiddy, who could just rush the ball off the pitch. And there are very few Indian fast bowlers like that. You see a lot of Indian fast bowlers who are good with the new ball. They can move the ball up front, but very rare are those who could just skid the ball after pitching. And we saw that how he in that game versus Gujarat in Wankhede, how he got Gill out, how he got Miller out. So there's a lot of potential. He also has a good bouncer, can bowl the Yorkers. So yeah, there is definitely a lot of potential with him. If he would have been younger, I would have been far more excited. But he's 29-30, so I'm keeping my expectations in check. But yes, hopefully he develops into a proper mainstay for MI.
Akash.
Yeah, I think for me it is Tilak Verma and not necessarily Akash Madal, because from what we saw last year, right, Tilak Verma is a completely different batter. He had his, he had his game against spin, but this year he's been not only a player against spin, he's a player against, he's a finisher. He's done multiple roles, and he's someone who's looked like a captaincy material. Maybe like 3 years or 4 years down the line, he could potentially be the captain. Plus, he's a left-hander, so it's a big asset having somebody like him who can play both pace and spin well. So for me, it is Tilak.
Yeah, I also have to agree with Akash. I think I was also going to go for Tilak Verma because, again, we've seen time and again how players have one good season and then they falter and or they rarely improve upon that breakthrough season, right? We've seen it with so many players over the years in the IPL. But Tilak not only, had a very good second season. I felt that he somehow improved on his breakthrough season as well, and the knock tonight was pretty much the icing on the cake. 42 or 43 or 14 balls when they had lost two early wickets, and also I think Green was injured as well. It was just unbelievable knock. It was like so close to being the Suresh Raina knock of 2023, but unfortunately his knock was cut short. But yeah, I mean, like Rohit said a few weeks ago, Tilak, we will see Tilak in a India jersey pretty soon. I think he is ready, and the fact that they have a core member in the middle order, number 4, who can probably even bat at number 5, who can move down to bat number 3, or who can move down to number 5, who can hit pace and spill equally well. And he's like what, 20? Is 21?
21,
yeah, 20 or 21, yeah. I think. So that is just it's a dream package you can ask for. So yes, overall an outstanding campaign for Tilak Verma. A very good season for Mumbai. Unfortunately, they fell short today. But more positives than negatives for sure. And if they can improve on this and build on this next season, and I'm pretty sure that we will see them in the playoffs at least next season.
Consistently.
And hopefully maybe make it to the final even.